We are thrilled to be back for Series 2 of the 50Faces Podcast for 2026, where we are bringing you profiles of 3 senior personnel across 3 UK local authority pools, a pioneer in asset allocator training, who is also a veteran, and a visionary in the world of venture and women's sports. And that is but a sample. What is so interesting about our guests this season is to trace how some backgrounds include adversity.
I grew up in America in the Northeast. I grew up in foster care, so bounced around to a lot of different homes, lived with a lot of different families. Thankfully, the experience, especially at the end of my time in foster care in America, was a very positive one. So I'm very grateful for that. And then ended up in the US Army because I didn't have any family or money to pay for college.
While many are rooted in entrepreneurship.
I've always grown up with an entrepreneurial environment. My father always ran his own company, small business, engineering. So I was always used to the idea of doing everything yourself and having to take that total responsibility. And starting a business and running a business, it's really hard.
I'm actually the child of an entrepreneur. My dad, who has since passed, owned a small manufacturing business, and we lovingly called the business The Factory. And my mom was my dad's business partner. And the factory was essentially my sibling. And the factory sat at the dinner table with me and my sister every night, and we talked about the factory every night.
We ask what it is that determines the partnerships we build.
I think there's a misconception around partnership, and the misconception is that you have to be a large firm to deliver partnership effectively. And when I think about our current relationships, a lot of our strongest partnerships are not with the largest institutions.
And the relationships that last.
I would ask people on the team, what do we sell? And they would say, we sell assets, we sell portfolios. I was like, no, we sell trust. At the end of the day, you sell trust. If you have a trusting relationship with your clients, they will buy from you. If you lose that trust, they will buy nothing from you.
We look at how we make an impact on boards.
It's not uncommon when you speak to board members of public companies in the countries that I work with in Latin America, that they don't understand, artificial intelligence more profoundly, the risks, the governance requirements, or how should artificial intelligence be used actually to the results of the company. And you sometimes not even the first level of executives do understand that, but the people that work there, the workforce understands better than them.
And in every room.
The advice I was given at the very beginning was we need to have a seat at the table. And that's what I believed in. I wanted to have the seat at the table. But fast forward to where it is now, I had started to see it very differently. I saw the table, the rules, the expectations that I mentioned earlier, that wasn't built with everyone in mind.
Hear about how our colleagues are thinking differently about pensions.
This focus really on, is there an upside here? Can we give more to our members? A lot of those legacy and final salary schemes are actually in a surplus position. So really thinking about what do you do with that surplus to benefit everyone? And it's throwing out lots of questions that people weren't asking 10 years ago, but are asking now.
And about some of the adversity that we encounter in life and how we make it through.
I did experience a big personal challenge last year. On January 7th, 2025, we lost our home and we lost all of our belongings in the LA wildfires. Our daughter's school, many of our friends' houses, and tragically many other colleagues at Oaktree also lost everything. It was a very shocking experience and not one I ever expected to go through. There is a fellow mother at my daughter's school who also sadly lost her home in the fires and who also happens to be the CEO of a large LA headquartered asset manager. And she wrote a very powerful letter to their employees the day after the fires, which said, and I quote, "The only way forward is through."
Series 2 has already been launched, so tune in every Wednesday for a new episode. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please like and follow us there. It makes a huge difference.